Welcome to the King's Capital. Hope you all had a great trading week. Definitely looking forward to this week. There were some good setups. A little choppy in this past week, but there are definitely some good setups to be had. A few decent trades. And yeah, so let's just dive right in, guys. This is DXY on the weekly. This is where I always start. I don't know if you've noticed that yet. But this is literally where I start because I just trade dollar pairs for the most part. So I want to know where the dollar is going. So here we are. We got DXY. Last week we had a nice retrace down into this zone. It's a bit of I've heard this called a unicorn by people like Casper and stuff like that. Essentially, we got a breaker block with a fair value gap in the middle. So it's kind of like a perfect little setup. So it makes sense as to why price was drawn to this level before continuing up. And we did get that last week, that weekly close over the previous high. So the expectation coming in this week was, again, more dollar strength. We do have a little barrier right here at 105.883, and then above that at 107.993, right into this fair value gap with a potential order block here. But honestly, I see no reason to be shorting the dollar at all. We could get a pullback at some point. This is a pretty strong candle. It would be interesting to see if it does pull back right away. My expectation is we'll probably see some continuation because I feel like the draw on liquidity is up towards this high, right? So, what I mean by draw on liquidity is essentially, we're looking for previous highs, old lows. Where is price heading? Where would there be orders that price is drawn to? So that is like the draw on liquidity, essentially. So when I see this old high and price approaching, I'm expecting price to come and liquidate these stops kind of above this, right? I don't know if anybody trades the dollar index. Is that something you can trade? I've never done it. If you could, right, where would stop losses be? They would be above this old high. We already got these ones. Done. Here's the next target, right? So this is going to help us frame what direction we want to go over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it takes. But this is our next target. After that, we've got this one. So DXY, looking for more upside on the dollar. We'll look at JPY real quick, but there's really not a whole lot to talk about. We got to close finally below this level, so my expectation is just more lows for JPY, which means our USD JPY trades. Strong dollar, weak yen. We're just looking for buys on this. Ironically, I think last week I got a sell on it. It just made sense to me during my session, so I took it. All right, let's look at Euro USD. Not looking great. On the monthly, we had this, and this is something I pointed out in one of my first videos, like one of the first few I did. Oh, where'd my fib go? Here, let me make sure this is available on the monthly real quick. Cool. So on the monthly, not only did we have this kind of order block or whatever right here, right? This level. We had the 618. We were in premium. This is bearish order flow, high, low, high, low, lower high, lower low, all that stuff. So with that said, I did, like I said, one of my earlier videos I did call that out. This was bullish until kind of proven otherwise. And I think at this point, it's pretty obviously not bullish. We got great dollar strength coming in. So what are we looking at coming into Euro this week? Great spike on Friday up into this level. I would like to see this fair value gap kind of filled in. Let's jump down to the 4-hour real quick. Right, so I actually was in a long on Friday. Again, it's one of those ones that was definitely counter trend. I took a very small position. I knew that it wasn't going to be a long-term anything. I actually took a partial somewhere around this high, which I only took half the position off and then was stopped out on the other half, break even, which is fine. But we're still kind of in this range that I had marked out. I think I marked it out in last week's video. The anticipation of this range, which we're still in. Could we see downside right away? Yeah, but there's still this play that listen, if it doesn't come, that's fine. I would still love to see something like this, right? Come a little deeper into premium, into this fair value gap, maybe into this order block area, and then down, right? That's what I would love to see. I wouldn't anticipate. Oh, wow. Oh, let me redo that. My apologies. Sometimes the double click does not work. Yeah, something kind of like that. Right, that's what I would love to see. We have to adapt to price, though, and it's something I was posting on my Instagram during the week as well. We have to adapt to whatever price is doing. Here's what I would like to have happen, and then that's one thing. And then the other thing is, what is price actually doing? So as much as we would love to predict price, and sometimes we're right about it, really we must react to price and what it does, right? Because we have fair value gaps, we have order blocks, we have all these things, but unless price is delivering in those zones the way we need it to for whether it's a buy or a sell, it doesn't matter. Zones break all the time, right? I have this one marked out, but who's to say we don't come up into a deeper premium, right? Maybe into this order block. Who's to say we don't do that? We absolutely could. So my goal coming into this week is to say, yes, I'm looking for this. This is what I would like to see. And if we get it, I'm going to look for the right price action during my session in my zones. Now, that said, alternatively, yeah, we could just break this low, and then I'd be looking for some kind of retrace, maybe like into a fair value gap or an order block, some kind of OTE play, right? It would look something like this, right? Let's say we break this low, we come down. I'd be looking for something like this with like a retrace up into an order block or a fair value gap or something, right? During my session. It has to be during my session. If it's not, it doesn't matter, right? It's definitely not going to happen during Asia session. I'm not looking for trades during that time. I'm only looking for trades during New York session. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro. And I realize I've talked a lot about fair value gaps, and I've mentioned order blocks a ton, but I haven't really explained, well, what is an order block? And this is kind of one of those things where as we start putting pieces of the puzzle together, this is one of those things where, we're talking about fair value gaps. We're talking about all these things. Now let's talk about order blocks and why they're important and how they can help us trade better. So an order block essentially is a area in which price moves away or displaces from with, I guess for lack of a better term, violence, right? It moves quickly from that zone. So let's go ahead and find ourselves an order block here. They kind of exist all over the place. You can find them. I would want to find one during my session. So let's go ahead and find one during my session. Right, so even right here, real quick. So here's an order block, right? So price during London. What did price do? All right, so here we are, just before it sells off during London, right? Actually, is that a good one? Hold on. Let me find a good one. One second. They happen all the time. They're easy to find. I promise. But essentially, yeah, an order block is where price has moved away from quickly, right? Where price is displaced from, and then what we have is the price action we're looking for. So, okay, so here's something we can look at. Here's an order block, right? So we have price in a bearish order flow, right? Bearish order flow. And then we have this up candle before finally breaking this structure, right? Here's our structure. It was kind of holding this low. Price moved away from it. And then what do we have? We had a retrace during New York session into this zone. It's kind of a large order block. There are probably cleaner ones to find, but just for this example, and I'll try and find maybe some more through this video as we go through it. But here's another example of an order block, right? So price moves away, displaces below this low, and then pushes back up into it during our session. So this would have been at 5 o'clock during New York session. And that is an order block, right? This is the last green candle before the displacement. That is kind of what we're looking for throughout this stuff. So you could have said this one is kind of late in session, but again, price rallied, broke this low, pushed right back up into this larger order block. So this is just an institutional level. This is where what is said, institutions have now stepped in to push price in the direction they want. So it's basically a big cluster of orders that is pushing price in a particular direction, you could say. So, man, are there other ones? I mean, they're all over the place. Sometimes, they're a little cleaner than others. Lately, I've noticed a lot of these, which are kind of, this could work. I think I looked at that one last week as well. All right, but anyways, looking into this week, I would love to see this retrace up into this zone and into this larger order block, right? So here is our order block. Again, this is kind of a larger zone. You could say it's this last green candle right here, but I like to mark out sometimes larger zones. But what did price do from this area, right? So when we're talking about order blocks, we're talking about that cluster of prices or that zone or that price where institutions and large orders have stepped in to displace price in the direction in the direction they want, right? So in this case, we have a bearish order flow. So institutions have stepped in here, killed price, right? It's just tank. That is a huge liquidity void going on right there. So here's our order block. My expectation and what I would love to see is price break these equal highs right here, because we know that there's liquidity sitting above here. If you're short on this market from like a higher level, you've probably moved your stop down here. So what we have is stop buys right there. So I would love to see this liquidity rated into this order block and lower, or at least into the fair value gap. You know, again, things to be mindful of. Again, will we get it? I don't know. Here's another order block, right? Last green candle. And again, you know, these things haven't been validated yet. What could happen is price moves up into this zone and then rejects, and we've proven that is a legitimate order block. But again, the idea of an order block last time is that it is the area or the price in which there is a large number of orders, likely from institutions, a big cluster of orders that is going to displace price in the direction it is going. So in this case, we are going down. There's a large order of a large number of institutional orders selling right here, which is displacing price to the downside. And the way we find that order block is it's usually the last, if you're bearish, it'll be the last green candle before displacing down. If you're bullish, let's just say this was a legitimate order block, right? It would be the last red candle, in my case purple, but the last down candle before the up candle, right? Before the big impulsive up candle. All right, let's move on. That's it for Euro, GBP, USD. Similar kind of stuff going on here. I would love to see, we're still in this range, right? Kind of above this line and then below. This is a little bit of a range kicking around. So when I see that, I know that we could be accumulating before we push up. We liquidate these stop losses, stop buys right here. Into this fair value gap. I would love to see on the 1 hour we have another order block, right here with this liquidity void going on. So with this, again, I want to see price is literally kind of the same setup as Euro USD. I want to see price kind of liquidate these highs, maybe push up into this liquidity void with the fair value gaps into this order block. This is the last up candle before the displacement down, before price moved impulsively down. So that is our order block. That's what I'm looking for. I'll just mark it out real quick. So here's the setup I'm looking for GU. Again, will we get it? I don't know. Price could literally just open up on Sunday for me because I'm in California. Price could open up and just continue down, and then we'll have to find a different setup, right? We'll have to adapt to price. USD CAD quickly. USD CAD. Yeah, this is bullish. Absolutely bullish. I loved the reaction we got from. Wow, I do not love the way price is moving on my chart right now. Cool. Let me move this out of the way too. So I love the way price reacted. We had this fair value gap here on the daily below, and then we pushed up. Price came back down, filled in this gap. Not completely, but enough, right? On the 4 hour is where we had this one, and we moved away from it. So the expectation now is continue to move up. We do have a fair value gap right here. Let me mark this out, and then maybe on the 1 hour there's an ideal setup for us, like a retracement. I would love to see a retracement. I'm not interested in trading breakouts necessarily. I would love to see price retrace into a level before looking for buys. And I would love to see price retrace into a discount, especially if you're going long, you want a discount. Premium would be more on the sell side. So I would be looking for something in here. This is our fair value gap. We do have this potential order block, right? So this is the last down candle before the price pushed up and then continued up in this, in this example. This would have been one as well. So this would have been an order block as well. This is where we paused in the market. We had a down candle and then price pushed up from here. So what did price do? Once it broke this high, what did price do? It came back down, retraced into this order block, picking up more orders, right? So when price moves away quickly, the draw there is then to now move down and pick up the rest of those orders, right? That's the theory behind it, is that especially when you're learning to trade order blocks, why does an order block matter? Well, an order block matters because when price moves away quickly, not all of the institutional orders are filled, right? We're talking billions of dollars. I don't know however much money they're using to trade or they're transferring. When the orders are placed, not all orders get filled. So the theory in trading order blocks is that when price moves away quickly, that price does need to draw back to that area, in our case right here, that last down candle before the up candle, in order to pick up the rest of the orders, right? So imagine dad coming home quickly, needs to pick up the family and then get to the airport on vacation or something like that, right? Last minute, right? Now imagine, okay, dad comes home, grabs everybody, starts driving towards the airport and realizes, dude, I left a kid at the house. Or whatever, right? Well, I need to go back and get that kid before I can complete my destination. Similar kind of like that's the best metaphor I could think of. It's like Home Alone, right? McAllister style order blocks. Maybe that's a new thing, right? Home Alone order blocks. I don't know. That's dumb. Anyways, that's the idea, is that price moved away, didn't get all the orders, needs to come back, pick up the rest of the orders before fulfilling its destination. So anyways, that's enough on order blocks today. I don't know. I'm in a mood to talk about them, I guess. But we're going to move back down, Lord willing, into one of these areas. I don't have a clean setup on this, though, honestly. I don't. It did break above, but I'm just looking at zones thinking, what is the ideal area for this to retrace to? And honestly, I'm not certain on USD CAD. Where's premium? We don't need it on the monthly or the weekly or the daily. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. We could retrace down into this order block for sure. On the 4 hour, we kind of have this level marked out here. This is be kind of our 4 hour order block. That would have to tap into premium. Yeah, maybe something in here. I'm not sold on this though, honestly. Watch. The one I'm not sold on is going to be the best setup of the week. Anyways, maybe something like that. All right, let's move on to USDJPY on the daily. Cool. Yeah, this is great. This is a super great setup. So, well, again, we didn't tap into premium. I would love to see us tap into premium on the daily. We don't have to, though. Here's what happened. Price moved. It paused for a second just before breaking this previous high, pierced through it, and so thus creating this daily fair value gap. So once price pushed through, the draw was then back down into this zone. Again, when price moves away quickly like that, it's leaving orders behind, and that's the idea behind the fair value gap, or not the fair value gap, but the order block, which it essentially tapped. It didn't hit it completely, but it's good enough, right? It came back and had to pick up more orders, and maybe we'll see the completion of this destination this week. I would be looking for buys. So, and here's my hang up. My ideal setup on this would be something like this, where we maybe push up at the start of the week into this zone. We break these lows where there's likely stop losses sitting right below here. Where's the money, right? Where's the liquidity in the market? The liquidity in the market is going to be the area in which there is money or orders sitting. So when we're thinking about the market and the marketplace, we need to be thinking in terms of is one of the things we need to be thinking about, right? Among many. But one of the things we should be thinking about, like I've been talking about liquidating these highs, equal highs, stop losses, is where are orders likely sitting in the market? So if for the people that were playing this long and maybe had tighter stop losses, there could have been some below these levels, right? So price came down and liquidated that. But my guess is there's probably stop losses sitting below this level right here, 35,757. I would love to see price maybe come up, liquidate these lows, come into premium and this order block, and then continue up, right? Maybe complete this minus 27 extension or something like that. This would be an ideal setup for me on UJ. Will we get it? I don't know. It was a decent reaction off this daily fair value gap. We do have a fair value gap right down here, though, on the 4 hour that is in discount, not premium. Sorry. If I said premium, sorry, discount. So if price can come into a discount marketplace, fill in this fair value gap, hit the order block, that is what I love to see, right? Those three things, discount, like if we're in a buyer's market, a discount price, that means below the 50%, a fair value gap, and an order block. Give me those three things. I think you've found an A+ setup, all couched in the larger narrative, right? If the larger narrative is bullish, then that's what we want to see. But it has to exist within the larger narrative of things. If it was a seller's market and that's our narrative, I'm looking for the exact same things, but in reverse. I'm looking for a premium, right? Not a discount, but a premium. So it coming up into a premium marketplace to sell. I want to see a fair value gap. And then just above that, I would love to see an order block. So this is kind of our order block zone right here. So if price can come down, then I know I'm looking for buys. And if I could put one more piece of that puzzle together, because I just put out some shorts about confirming a swing point, if we can get a potential swing point, right, where we have 3 candles that kind of round out a bottom, and that 4th candle is bullish, that is absolutely a buy right there, right? So now there's 4 things that we just put together. We got, in this case, we're going to do a discount market below the 50%. We're going to do this fair value gap. Cool. We're going to do the order block in this area. Perfect. And then for confirmation, if we can start seeing, if we can get a swing point that confirms on that 4th candle that's bullish, 100% full send. Let's go. Especially understanding that the dollar is bullish. Now, if we don't get that, then trades off, right? Trades off. It's not our trade, and that's okay. Cool. So that's what I'm looking at for UJ. I think this would be ideal. Again, we could just push up from here, and if we push up, right? Alternatively, I'll give the alternate. Alternatively, we could push up from here. In which case, I would love to see us come down maybe into this, which would be a bit more of a breaker block, and then a push up, right? Something like that. But that's not my ideal setup. That's not what I'm looking for. I'll play it if we get it though. Cool, because I would love to play. Yeah, this is USD CAD. Oh man, I mixed them up. Huh? I was talking about USD JPY earlier. Yeah, USD JPY, that was it. But USD CAD, this is what I'd like to see. Sorry, my apologies. I think I was mixing those up. USD CAD. This would be my ideal setup for USD CAD. UJ, looking at something like this for UJ, into a discount market, right? Order block, discount market. Now, the thing I don't have here is that fair value gap. Maybe I have it on the 1 hour. Not really on the 1 hour. Yeah, this is why I look at this and I go, I don't know. Right? Because USD JPY not really giving me all those confluences, but that's okay. You don't need it. If it pulls into that discount market plus the order block plus, oh, we have a fair value gap here. Yeah, there's one just below that. Anyways, if it pulls in and we start seeing that swing point get confirmed, that's a go-to. Cool, but my big play this week is probably Euro. This is mainly what I pay attention to anyways, but again, I would love to see us pull up into premium, fill in a fair value gap, tap into the order block where price is displaced from, followed by further downside. So let's see what we get this week. Let's look at crypto real quick on the weekly. I just don't think there's a whole lot going on in crypto. I don't trade it, like I said. I'm really just looking for buys, but we're still kind of in this zone, just going sideways. Nothing exciting. We did get a push up and filled in some of this fair value gap that existed here, but we didn't tap the order block, and that's fine too. They don't always have to get hit. XRP, let's look at XRP. Again, just kind of trickling to the downside. I would have liked to see a pop up into here sooner than later, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But again, not a whole lot happening, unfortunately. H-bar, very bearish candle. Again, I think we're just coming right back into this 4-cent range. Casper. What's up, friendly ghost? Yeah, this is just coming down, guys. So I think Casper's on its way down to 3 cents. I'll probably buy it around 3 cents, but that's not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. Trading comes with high risk. Don't lose your money. Don't listen to me. Well, unless you want to. Cool. Yeah, we're just coming down, guys. So crypto still just kind of moving sideways, just kind of trickling down. Nothing exciting, unfortunately. Let's look at SPY real quick. Overall, like this is a bullish trend on SPY. If you look at the monthly, this is still just bullish. Now, when we get to the weekly, I would love for us to displace below here. Right now, we've kind of pushed up in this potential order block right here on the weekly and have rejected a little bit, but we haven't really confirmed true bearishness just yet. Yeah, we broke this low, but look at this is the low before this swing point, right? Before this leg of our extension, right? So we came up here, pulled back, a little pause in the market, and then continued up. But our real swing point in this market is down here. So unless we're breaking that, This is still, oh my goodness, my 3-year-old is loud. Sorry, guys. Um, unless we break that, like this is still kind of a bullish market. I think the draw again, we pushed into this daily gap, which is more of a volume gap, I guess. We have a gap up here. I mean, I don't know. In this market, there's always gaps, but my expectation is probably more downside. I would love to push up. Actually, hold on. Yeah, we haven't closed above that. This is a pretty strong candle, and then the price immediately came down into this potential order block. It's not really giving the reaction, though, that you would want, but I would love to see price push up somewhere into this zone for further downside. Let me put a fib on this and see if there's anything that kind of lines up in our premium. Yeah. So if we can kind of push up into this, let me get rid of this guy. Wow, hold on. Get rid of some of this. Yeah, the daily volume imbalance, that's all right. We don't really need to hold on to that. Cool. We got a gap right there. We got premium. Yeah, and there's a bit of an order block right there as well. So if we can kind of push up into there at some point, that would be awesome. I'm not guaranteeing it though. I'm still kind of getting into the indices a bit, so it's not my thing, but we do have this as well. So it's just kind of a zone to be mindful of. We did get a little bit of a reaction in it. Yeah, and this is kind of bullish actually. So y'all are getting my thought process at the moment. Just kind of thinking through this on the fly. Let's clean this up a little bit. All right, so like I said, mega high time frame, monthly or whatever. I don't know what you want to call that. Yeah, that's bullish still. We did push up into that gap in that potential order block. We came into a discount marketplace into this. We're just going to call this an order block. I think sometimes they're at the bottom, but I'm not sure if there's a different name for this. Maybe there is. Like a breaker block would be something more like this. But this guy, I'm going to call it the order block. Somebody, if you're watching and you're way better at these concepts than I am, then let me know what you'd call that. But I'm going to call that an order block for now, or demand zone, right? But we're in a discount market. Price is pushed up. So my expectation is actually we probably could see a pop from here. I'm not 100% on that. Again, just kind of getting into SPY and indices, starting to trade those more, and just trying to understand these charts a little more, see how SPY moves. Forex, Euro USD, I trade mostly that, so I kind of understand that. So there's a lot of discretion. With all my rules, there's still discretion involved in my trading there because I understand that pair. SPY, I'm still trying to figure out a little bit, but again, keeping in mind that we are bullish technically on the weekly and the monthly. Yeah, we've had a big pullback from our highs, but we pulled back here into a discount, and we saw a little bit of a reaction. So we'll just be mindful of that. Not really going to mark out like here's the trade I'm going to take because I'm not 100%. So, anyways, I'll leave you all with EU. Here's what I'm looking for. Sorry for the messy chart. We just got all these zones marked out, all the fibs and all the things. Here's 50% of our range. If we can start trading above that, if we can get above 50% and trade and kind of consolidate just below, my expectation is that price will push through these highs, liquidate the stops, pull up into this area, either the fair value gap or the supply zone or order block, followed by further downside. That would require a pullback from DXY, which we'll have to see if we can get. There's definitely room to pull back. I would love to see it pull back somewhere. Potentially even here, we got these clean candles kind of just trickling up. Do we have any yeah. Okay, so on the 4-hour, we're also getting some divergence as well, right? The tops of these candles are continuing to push up, at the top of the RSI is kind of, going down. So we do have some divergence. So there's an argument to be made that we have a pullback coming, but again, I'm not gonna say it's coming this week or at open or anything. But I would also say that there is likely liquidity below these levels, orders sitting below these levels or whatever, right? So if you were to play the dollar index, I don't know who does that, but if you were, right, you would be trailing your stop up. So the theory being, again, there's money sitting below this. So if price can push down, liquidate these levels, buyers come in at a discount, right? This would be a discount market if this is our leg from here to here. Yeah, if we can kind of push down into here, man. See, and here's the big impulse with this order block right here. But if we can just get into this zone, that would be a pretty decent pullback. And Lord willing, we get another rally. That could be in confluence with this, right? Because they're going to move opposite. But anyways, all right, y'all, I'm going to wrap it up here. It's been good. God bless you guys. Hope you have a great trading week. Trade safe. Be wise with the money you've been given and trade it well, y'all. All right. Peace.